you give us permission to say it, because we all dying to say it.
We ready. We ready.
1, 2, 3.
Point of order!
It's kind of a disservice to my train of thought, so I'm listening, but I'm not going to keep doing this.
Okay, appreciate you, sir.
Mr. Mays, I just want to, I did reach out to you, sir, 3 times actually.
What happened?
It said your voicemail was full.
Yeah, my voicemail tell me I'll play it right now. I'll tell you what it say. You want to hear it? Let me do this, Mr. President, because my credibility is on the line.
No, sir.
My voicemail stay full. It tells you and asks you to call me back.
And that's what.
That's exactly what it say. You want to hear it? I deal with thousands. And so don't stand up and say you reached out. Do what it say then. Don't say it's full. Say what it say. You want to hear what it say?
I know what it says.
What it say?
It said your voicemail's full. Do you want me to recite the entire voicemail that you...
And what do it say after it says full?
Please call you back.
Call me back.
3 times.
Yeah, I don't too much miss calls, sir. You want to go under oath? Now I'm telling you,
Mr.
you call me 3
Point of
times.
order.
Hold on.
No, what's your point?
What's your point of order?
He's like yelling at him, and he's just here to tell us information. Can we calm it down a little, please?
Thank you.
I'm very calm, but when it comes
But now,
to
here's what I don't want to do.
Really getting ridiculous. This man, I'm sitting over here, This man is keep on nitpicking with Dr. Lewis, and some of my colleagues over there ain't hearing it, but I'm hearing it in
Mr.
my
Murphy,
ears.
decorum,
And what
please.
I'm telling you guys is this man is literally over here picking with Dr. Lewis. So if y'all don't hear it, I'm letting y'all know that this man is over here picking with Dr. Lewis, and she ain't saying nothing to him.
Mr. Murphy, decorum, please. Decorum means treating all of our colleagues with respect.
I'm telling this council, and y'all can mark my words, y'all need to put this man in check. He is over here disrespecting this lady, making sidebar conversations, and I'm sitting up here hearing it all the way from my seat, and then she trying to keep her composure as much as
point
she
of
can.
information,
What's your
through
point?
you to the speaker, did you grow up lying your whole life?
Mr. Mays, that is an improper
May
point.
I be excused again?
Yes, Mr. Murphy.
Did he grow up with some mental issues his whole life?
Mr. Murphy, decorum.
For real. Listen, whoever chairing these meetings, I'm just letting y'all know, y'all need to get this dude.
That's called laying a foundation for my vote. You might not think it's germane because I'm squealing on you, as they used to say on Leave It to Beaver.
Madam
You weren't
Chair.
here.
Do you have a point?
Thank you. Just point of order.
What's
Again,
your point?
Yeah, we are wasting time, him gaslighting other colleagues, and this is not what we're here for. We're here to talk about this specific motion.
Mr. Mays, please stay germane to the motion at hand, which is the approval of the Flint City
I'm
budget.
germane. This is a body. You work as a body of 9, 5 or more. I'm not going to just gaslight some absent members who didn't do the work. Now that we here to vote, I'm going to torch them. If I'm gaslighting, I'm torching. I'm torching you. Because guess what? You wasn't here. Miss Lewis, your attendance have been caught up with Miss Worthing's. Miss Worthing's was here
Mr.
for
Mays.
none of the meetings.
Point of
What's your point?
order.
What's your point?
Mr. Mays is gaslighting again, and if he does not know what that means, it means that he's trying to
Point of order.
set
That ain't
the
no
tone.
proper point of order.
Well,
Mr.
point of order, he's out of order. And Madam Chair, please give him a warning. There's too
Miss-
many points of order.
That is correct. Mr. Mays.
All right. People start getting titles around here, and they swear they somebody now. They swear that they are above, or they forgot where they came from, Mr. Councilman Murphy. You know, the naysayers and all that. You know, people just try to talk to your constituents. But see, when you start thinking like you temptation and all that, you know what I'm saying? Sings for them temptations and all. Crushed velvet red sports coats and stuff, you know. People tend to not want to pay attention. And then you have Councilwoman Worthing, who told me to shut up last meeting without me even saying anything to her, running around here trying to make it seem like somebody doing something to her. All right, I'll be back, because I
Thank
know
you,
somebody
Mr.
gonna say something smart.
Thank you, Mr. Woodson.
To Art Wilson, I take pride in how I look when I come to city council because I take my job serious. So if you see me dressed nice with a haircut, because I take my job serious, and I think it's important how I look when I come to city council, and you'll never really see me coming down here looking like who did it what for. I make sure my hair grown, I make sure my clothes is nice, and that's just who I am.
Thank you, Councilman
Yeah,
Murphy.
Madam Chair.
Councilman Mays, you have the floor, sir.
First to the pastor. Pastor, whoever sits on the land bank. That's what I'm saying, since you saying it publicly, as you start to premise this conversation. Maybe you have, only God knows. But I'm here to tell you, Mr. What is his name?
Hicks.
Hicks, Mr. Hicks. Councilman Mays don't have a reputation of missing 3 business calls. And I'm not going to let you stand up here and say it. It could be true. Only God only knows. Proceed from there, but I hear you. But I'm going to prove to you what my voicemail say. Since you say it's full, I want you to go further. If you heard my voicemail, you would have heard what it said. It repeatedly says, if you miss me, call me back. If you miss me, call me back.
Councilman Mays, he made your point for you. He said what you said it said.
No, he didn't.
He said that it's...
No, he didn't. He said, period. I reached out 3 times. Your voicemail was full. That's what he said.
But you asked him what did it say, and it said, you said...
He didn't never say it said, call me back.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Councilman.
I'm telling you. If he did, I didn't hear it. He didn't say it said, call me back. He said it was full. That's what he said, and that's what the record will reflect. He didn't never say it said call me back. I said it said call me back. Now that's what I ain't even agreeing with what you're saying, Mr. President. And if you that interested in my brain and what I hear, we'll check it, because it's recorded.
I think we need
But
to check it.
anyway,
I know
let
what
him
he said.
proceed with his opening
of
statement
information.
towards
What's your
me.
point?
Could Mr.
But it makes it easier for our staff in the records when stuff is done right. Because, you know, Mr. Murphy dying to be a leader, in my opinion, and ain't there yet.
Okay, thank you very
I
much.
want to separate 220. Thank me for separating.
Yes,
Thank me for getting the motion right, or you just want me to shut up?
all of the
I think it was the latter. You was trying to get me to shut up as I'm talking while I look at my separations. I like to separate.
It's ridiculous. And everybody know, if you say something to Councilman Mays, he always on 10. 10 is where he started. He never goes down.
Flint City Councilwoman Kate Field says she's had enough and is now asking the Michigan State Police to assign a state trooper to council meetings because of her colleague, First Ward Councilman Eric Mays.
with his screaming and yelling and name calling and dancing around.
Field says Mays verbally attacked a member of the press and it was all caught on tape. You can see it here in this video that was recorded by Flint activist Quincy Murphy at a recent city council meeting when Mays was addressing the media.
You're nasty with her. You're nasty with, maybe it's a cultural difference. She ain't from Flint, you ain't either. I am disruptive when need to be disruptive, when people don't follow council rules.
Mays doesn't deny that he causes a stir, but he says he is just using his First Amendment right at council meetings.
Try to portray me, the mayor, or anybody else in a bad light, I do stop the action. I become disruptive. I highlight issues.
Mays says he believes Fields is trying to muddy up his name in response to a lawsuit he recently filed against some council members. While Fields says it has nothing to do with the lawsuit. Fields says state police are not at the time able to provide a trooper at every meeting. She says she will continue to press for one.
Point of information.
What's your point?
Mr. Murphy, why you keep lying on the mic about this?
Mr. Mays, that's an improper bit of information. And so that is again, your second time abusing that.
Madam Chair,
You will know.
I want to be excused, sit in the office and listen till it's come time for business. I just can't take the lie.
You are excused.
Councilman Murphy don't got to lie for you or nobody else, because
Mr.
one
Man,
thing
Mr.
for two
please
and two
hold.
things.
Please proceed.
One thing for two and two things for certain. Quincy ain't never worried about trying to make what I'm saying about an issue seem to.
So I apologize to you, Mr. President of the Council.
And Madam Chair, it might not be racist, but it sure ain't on the Gillicresses. You heard that before? Eric Macy's, Aoni Gillicresses, Karen Weaverses. It's been some hangover issues. And so we gonna get past the issues, but we have to deal with them in discussion. So I'm ready to vote this. And let's move it to the floor and see if we can get out of here. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I want all of them. Talk about them out there.
Is there any further discussion?
All right. Is there any other discussion in this appeal?
You got something to say to me? Say it.
Ms. Winfrey Carter.
Both of your eyes over here.
Is there any other discussion? Okay.
Point of order.
There will be order.
Point of order.
Hearing multiple points of order. I heard one specifically
Yes.
from Dr. Lewis. Did I also hear one from Ms. Priestley? Okay. Well, we'll do the point of order and then the recess. Dr. Lewis.
Thank you. Our colleague in the 5th Ward is insinuating threats because I haven't said anything. I'm just sitting here looking and listening to her speak.
All right.
I haven't said anything.
Point of order.
I have to.
Chair, she did not state what rules has been broken. and
Excuse
she-
me.
She
Absolutely.
testified. She is not stating.
One thing for certain, Quincy ain't never worried about trying to make what I'm saying about an issue seem to be something else because of Councilman Mays in the 1st Ward. You can believe that.
What comes to mind when people hear Flint City Council?
A work in progress. What people think as a whole, I would assume that they think of a little bit of disarray.
If you've ever been to a Flint City Council meeting, it's not unusual for council members to bicker back and forth. But last night's Finance Committee meeting reached a whole new level.
You out of order. Now say another word.
It started when Councilman Eric Mays interrupted Councilwoman Kate Fields when she was talking about the city's water fund. As you can see, the situation escalated, leading to Fields giving Mays the middle finger, screaming profanity at him, quickly getting kicked out of the meeting.
1st floor. Yep, I plan on you taking me on a tour on the water treatment plant too.
I will do that, and wastewater.
Yeah, I will do
And
that. I don't
at
know
least
if
set them up and have the
I don't know if
knowledgeable
I want to
people.
be around no shit. But, you know.
Oops.
Point of order.
The poop plant,
Yeah.
okay.
My last question is,
You gonna say no and others looking, no, it's true. Rule on my point of order. That's the rule.
Thank you. So point of order denied. Let's go ahead, Ms. Worthing.
I gotta remember where I was. Hold on a minute. What was I saying?
Point of information. I can help you remember you were spanking Quincy Murphy
yeah.
for taking
I
up
was.
for you
Thank
because
you.
you're white, I guess. I don't know.
That's because Mr. Quincy has the true spirit of working together. And that is, no one here cares, except for actually a few of my colleagues, what color you are, what your political affiliation is. And I am super ultra liberal. And I will work with my colleagues all day long. We even get along on these
Point of
issues.
information. Then why did you have to switch seats in the first year of 30 years of history? I've
can
never
address
seen
that.
nothing like this before.
Confucius said, embark on a journey of revenge and dig two graves. And I feel that a lot about a colleague on the other side, Mr. Mays. I feel that there isn't a journey of revenge. constantly.
Point of order.
And here it is.
Fields says she's dealt with verbal abuse and racism from Mays for years.
Absolutely. Enough is enough. He is abusing the authority of the chair.
Quincy Murphy was taken up for Kate Fields' name before he come on this council. I listened to him. Hey, could y'all keep it down back there, Whittigan and Attorney Kim and all that back there, please? Because y'all louder than the people they walking out. Just disrespectful.
5 hours of productivity is totally different than 5 hours of arguing with each other over nothing. Over nothing. These comments are...
You think race and getting put out of meetings and folks arguing with the audience about race ain't nothing? This race argument been going on for a while, hasn't it?
Mr. Mays,
That was a
is
total
something to
manipulation
some
of what I
people.
just said. That was a total manipulation. Sorry.
No, it's fine, Mr. Mays.
Y'all butchering the rules. You're discriminating with the rules, and you lean toward white folk.
Mr. Mays, it is a
Let
point
me
of order.
finish
Do you
my
have the
point
floor?
of order. Discrimination is
And as a council,
unlawful.
we need to quit letting this man in the first ward that considered himself 9 years, 10 years, been on here, treat people any kind of way. And I always said it, and I'm still saying it from this day. I'm going to teach you how to treat me. You not going to treat me any kind of way. Ain't nobody going to treat me any kind of way because I'm not going to disrespect people because I'm not no disrespectful person. And I want to come here and get the work done and see my city get moved forward and see my neighborhood get moved forward in a better, positive way because my neighborhood jacked up. And it ain't just got like that. It's been like that for over 30 years. We're going to have to stop allowing our people and our colleagues and us to treat and talk to people any kind of way.
Excuse me.
And it's
Point of
all about you,
information.
Mr. Mays.
What's your point?
You said absolutely you remember it, don't you?
And I've been called a prostitute. I've been called a nasty white
Point
woman.
of information.
I've been called a lot of names.
Point of
Mr. Mays.
information.
A
Have
dog.
I ever called you a
Mr. Mays,
prostitute? That was public comment, wasn't it? Under the old council.
But it was allowed.
But I didn't call you a prostitute, did I? So don't quit overloading.
Oh my God. This, I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay because I came for a meeting and it started at 4:30. It's almost 9:30 and we've not voted on one.
Mr. Guerra and Ms. Fields. And I guess Mr. Davis calls them the new council. The new council. We don't do stuff the same as the old council.
Mr. Mays, I'm going to ask you to just make your statements without calling your colleague's name.
No, you can ask me,
Well,
but my political, you
and-
can't discriminate.
Actually, Mr. Mays, I can say that it is out of order. It does not
I'm gonna
actually
appeal the
mention-
ruling of
There's
the
an appeal
chair.
of
I
the
can
decision of
say
the chair
people-
on the floor. Is there a second? There is an appeal of the decision of the chair on the floor. Is there a second? There is an appeal of the decision of the chair on the floor. Is there a second? Your appeal dies for a lack. Mr. Mays,
I can
please
say
do
anybody's
not-
name. I
Mr.
can say
Mays, I'm going
Trump.
to, okay. So, Mr. Mays, continue the way that you are, and we're at the
I
end of
am.
the meeting.
I am
So then I'm
gonna
going to have you
continue.
removed because you've already had your
Well,
word.
let me continue, because I got the floor.
I'm not going to argue with you.
You don't have to
the
argue
floor.
with me, but you're
Stop-
not gonna-
Stop, Mr. Mays. Let me finish. You have lost your appeal. I'm going to let you continue, but you are not to mention anyone else's name. You can be funny if you want to. Trump is not here. And so wrap up with whatever you'd like to say, and that is it, Mr. Mays.
I'm gonna say your name. I'm gonna say Mr. Davis' name.
Mr. Mays, you're out of order.
I'm not out of order
Mr.
saying your
Metcalf,
name.
he has been warned, and now I'm...
Madam Chair.
Ms. Worthing.
The same for me. Some of my colleagues said quite a bit, and I agree with them. I'd like to thank Mr. Murphy for standing up for everyone, saying that he would work with anyone. Most of us feel that
Point
way.
of information.
What's your point?
Will you clarify, you thank Mr. Murphy for standing up for who? You, because you white, or what are you saying?
Mr. Mays, for the 5th time that I've counted, you have abused a privileged motion.
Point of order. I don't think me asking for her a clarification is an abuse of a point of information. She said she'd like to thank him for standing up for somebody. I wanted to hear the clarification. That's a legitimate point of order. I couldn't hear it. I can ask. And my point of order now is because this ain't no major infraction. When you trying to punish me,
everybody needs to get it right up here. The pot can't call the kettle black, like my grandmama used to say.
we should have an easy win. We should have an easy win. When you see Woodson directing Galloway, and Woodson coming to Shiloh, we should have an easy win. I wanted to go viral. The cat is out the bag.
Mr. President.
The cat is out the bag.
Mr. Mays. Mr. President.
It is what it is. When it's wrong, do us the wrong.
I didn't want to leave. I was hoping that we would be further along.
Thank you.
Got to get back to work.
Acknowledge somebody who wasn't even a public speaker. Didn't nobody say nothing, but he's so discriminatory and he's so wrong at what he's doing, teaming up with Kate.
Point of order. What is your point of order,
This
Mr.
body
Davis?
will not tolerate argumental discord. Lower your tone.
Mr. Just so you know, Mr. Davis, that was not a proper point of order. That is a valid thing that he said. And
I don't
so
know. Wait a minute. Wait.
Just so you know, I ruled. And that's done. I'm not going to argue.
You're not
with
a
you.
king.
I ruled. I didn't say I was, Mr. Davis. We're
Lower
trying
the
to be
tone.
orderly.
That's all I said.
I'm not even yelling, but you're trying. I ruled against it, Mr. Davis. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Davis should have been warned right then and there for arguing with you, and if he continued, throw his butt out. Mr. Davis ain't been here but 2 years, a year and a half, and he gonna tell me how to politic and how to talk. He got another thing coming. He's starting to sound a little one way or the other as far as I'm concerned. I want people to see him. I want to pull this. I want him to show who he is.
Point of order.
What's your point of order?
I will not tolerate. I will be reading the rules of warning shortly if you continue. Thank you.
What are you talking about?
Wait, Mr. Mays?
Prioritize stuff, and didn't you see which council people prioritized the business and who fought to do it first? Did you see that? And who is doing it last? The majority got y'all like that. Did you realize that?
Thank you, Mr. Edwards. Did you have something else that you'd like to share, sir?
I would just say that, I would just like to say that we're respecting.
Mr. Mays, you are out of order, sir. And as a matter of fact, that is your ruling and you can be removed. And so, Mr. Metcalf, yeah, you can remove Mr. Mays. He has already had his warning and he continues to continue to make. There's an appeal of the decision of the chair on the floor. Is there a second? There's an appeal of the decision of the chair on the floor. Is there a second? There's an appeal of the decision of the chair on the floor. Is there a second? Your motion dies for a lack of a second. Mr. Metcalf, if you can please escort Mr. Mays out of the meeting. Mr. Clyde, did you have anything else that you'd like to say? I think Mr. Winfrey had a question for you. Mr. Winfrey?
Madam President, it wasn't a question. It was we're getting
Mr. Mays, now you're being disruptive, sir. We can hear you. We got business that we're taking care of.
We're getting rid of 2014 to get a newer model, which is a 2019. I think that's to our advantage. That's what I read 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
we've had the information.
Okay.
We've had it.
Thank you. And so, thank you, Mr. Winfrey. And I just want to say to the staff that is still here, I don't know, my colleagues didn't know, but they were actually supposed to leave at 8 o'clock. And they stayed to accommodate us. And so, thank you, Mr. Edwards. Thank you, Mr. Daly. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Brian Larkins. We appreciate you. And so, with that being said, if there's no further questions, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Mr. Guerra?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey?
Yes.
Ms. Galloway?
Yes.
Mr. Griggs?
I want y'all to buckle up
Yes.
for this ride, because when my colleagues...
Mr. Metcalf.
I'm already out of order.
Well, then
I'm on the
please
way
leave,
out.
sir.
I'm gonna protest
Please
and make a
leave.
statement, and it ain't no double rule. When y'all said and let her throw me out, get ready for the ride.
According to
And
the
I'm gonna make
disorderly, it says violators
Get
shall be
ready for the
removed
ride.
and that individual will be subject to arrest.
Okay,
Mr.
well, we
Mays, you haven't
arrested
gotten there
now.
yet.
That's what we doing. We getting arrested. You ain't.
That's not
you
what
ain't
you're
as
doing.
smart as
Mr. Mays, you will not make this community think that you are being arrested. He is not being arrested, you guys. He is being escorted from this meeting.
Yeah, it's an arrest when you.
It's not an arrest.
That is freedom of movement. You just don't know the law. And I'm gonna.
We're going to take a brief recess. We're going to take a, oh, go ahead.
I can show you better than I can tell you.
Mr. Mays, thank you.
Go
Go ahead, Madam.
I'm not gonna leave my briefcase.
Mr. Metcalf, what does it have to take for him to
I'm gonna
leave?
get my briefcase, I'm gonna pick these papers up, and you can pause until I get it. And if you're mad about my civil disobedience and protest when you throw me constantly, this council out my elected seat, somebody gonna settle something. Discriminating black folks, white folks, all kind of folks. And I'm protesting that. It's called civil disobedience. Let me call the National Action Network.
Madam Clerk, will you read the roll?
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no on 200034.
Thank you. So the next one,
Madam Chair,
Mr. Davis?
I'd like to entertain a motion to suspend the rules.
There's a